His tribulations began when he refused to support the impeachment motion against Gachagua. Do you believe this narrative?
First of all, I will say I like to see young people fight for their spaces, not dying down. I also fought for my space, especially when I was rigged out during my nomination process. So it's really admirable to see young people fight back. A system that we know will drown a young person at any moment. I have been in UDA and I have seen Cleophas Malala put strategies to support young people. And you see he helped us register companies because he wanted young people to also benefit from the party and be able to benefit from the MSME docket through the PS, Susan Mangeni, to see how young people can be able to access loans from the Hustler, project. But you see now him being ousted and him coming out to speak, whether or not he's saying the truth, we are seeing a young person fighting back. And obviously, we've seen the impeachment motions for the deputy president. It's really not going well with the mountain at the end of the day. We cannot impeach our deputy president. And yes, we saw the president coming to defend the deputy president, Rigathi. But we know it is true. And we know that there is beef between Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and our deputy president. At
some point he told him, you can even go die.
Yes, we've seen the Majority Leader not have any respect for our deputy president, despite knowing that he's supreme, more than he is. So we believe what Cleophas Malala is saying. And we know that for Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, he will oust anybody who's not supporting his idea. You see, you can even look at Kiambu politics. We know it's Kimani Ichung'wah who's really destabilizing the Wamatangi government. So I do believe what Cleophas Malala is saying. He did not dance to their tune, and that's why he was ousted. And now we see Omar being there. So is he, what exactly is he coming to do? Because there's now a project that is coming to support. So is he coming here to still destabilize the place of our Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua? And they have to understand that the mountain is not pleased with what they are doing and trying to destabilize our let me say, kingpin, Rigathi Gachagua, because at the end of the day, he's our supreme. And we've seen that they are now in talks with Mr. Kenyatta. It is important for the mountain to really unite and understand that our place is already threatened. Therefore, Cleophas Malala is speaking the truth.
I reached out to Kimani Ichung'wah via his communication director, that is Sam Ogina. And this is what he said as far as the allegations that were made by Malala are concerned. Tell them I don't respond to messengers. The owner of the message who sent him can speak, I will respond. Otherwise, every marketplace has its madman, and people learn to just watch them. Prof, this is the response of Kimani Ichung'wah after being accused of, first of all, plotting an impeachment motion against the DP. Malala is now requesting, the party to suspend the two, that is Cecily Mbarire and Kimani Ichung'wah, on the grounds that he has filed a petition challenging his oust before the, Internal Disputes Resolutions Committee, also calling upon the ORPP not to make any changes as far as the position of the SG in the party is concerned. What do you make of the trouble that has now, the troubles actually that are rocking the ruling party? Less than 2 years since they took office, or 2 years since they took over office.
First and foremost, start looking at what is happening now and start looking at 2027. If you don't look at 2027, you cannot understand what's happening now. You've heard proposals that ODM and UDA will come together. You saw, for example, when William Ruto was in Kisii, he was being told, welcome to ODM. You see, ODM is having a problem of internal rivals, different oppositions. UDA is having their own different issues. Azimio is having their own issue. So there's no single major political party that is stable. What is this telling you? That they are trying to rearrange the forest. The monkeys will be the same, and they are trying to rearrange the forest in preparation for the lies that they want to cheat people again, so that they can win the election in 2027. That's how I want to see it. And if you look at the issues of what is happening here, Ichungwa, who is Ichungwa speaking on behalf? When you see Ichungwa speaking, you must know that that's what William Ruto is trying to say.
And for him, he's saying also who has sent Malala to come and speak. He's just a messenger. When
yeah,
the
so
owner of the message
Gachagua,
speaks, he will respond.
Gachagua is being spoken Malala is speaking on behalf of Gachagua. Ichungwa is speaking on behalf of William Ruto.
So in other words, Ichungwa wants
so everybody
Gachagua to speak by himself so that he can respond.
Yes. So that's what is happening here. So that's what we understand. But this is 2027. But let me tell you why this one helped them. And I want to tell you, even Wanjiku, don't be consoled, because according to me, people are saying there was a failed revolution by the Gen Z. According to me, the revolution took place already.
Yes.
In fact, we lost just one battle out of the several that we won. We won the finance bill reject, it was done. Dissolve cabinet, it was done. Occupy parliament, it was occupied. Ensure that opulence of people showing their wealth in public, carrying money in cameras and showing us how wealthy they are and we're sleeping hungry, that was also done. No one will do it again. But now we have lost a battle on this 999. But the next battle is coming, and the next battle is this. The formation is clear. There'll be two horses. There'll be two horses. You've always had the two-horse race. I can confirm there'll be two-horse race again. But what will be the horses? There'll be one horse, which is called a political horse. That horse will have all those political parties are now wrangling here, which is based on political kingpin alignments, based on tribal issues, and based on lies, innuendos, failed promises, broken promises. That will be one political horse. The second horse will be outside of the current horses.
Yeah.
This will be emerging Kenya, which is concerned citizens who are issue-based about the economics, about leadership, about governance. That horse might even have the youngest person vying. And you'll just hear breaking news, the president of Kenya. It will be breaking news for everybody. Just like you saw breaking news, Gen Zs have entered parliament. You will see a breaking news in 2027. So the two horses will be very different. And this time, let Kenyans say they have no vote. And I want to encourage my fellow Gen Zs. Now, go look for IDs, look for your voter's card. Let us occupy parliament by voting the people you want in parliament, including yourselves. Let us occupy the county assembly. Let us occupy Senate. But also we can actually occupy State House by looking for who can lead State House and take him there. So according to me, that has already happened. Well. And then to end my conversation, let me just end by saying, these people have begun the conversation that was there before the Gen Z revolution. What they have forgotten is that the solution they have is a ceasefire. Not that the war is ended. There's just a ceasefire, but the problem has not been solved because the deep-sitting problem is the issue of accountability, integrity, the issue of economic issues. And so long as that has not been addressed, it is not going to work. And as far as I'm concerned, very soon, when the people will get just some kind of a problem and a reason to go back to the street, we'll discover that we are back to square one after forming a broad-based government. Now I don't know which kind of government will they form. I don't know what it will be called. Will it be a medium, I don't know, a large size, because in PISA we have medium size, then we have a large, then we have super large, and we have another size?
Small.
Small. So which one will they now form? Because we are moved from a small government to a broad-based government. Now we have to talk about a superlative sort of government. That won't solve the problem either.
Wanjiku, on the broad-based government, Raila Odinga has given two narratives. One, that President William Ruto approached him, so that he could be saved from the imminent collapse that was in the offing. The other day, again, Raila Odinga comes out and says, it's the former President Uhuru Kenyatta who initiated, by the way, the broad-based government, in terms of he approached or he requested that I talk to the president so that we resolve, what is happening in the country, and that every interest is superseded by the national interest. Jubilee Party has since distanced itself from that. Jeremiah Kioni is saying, Raila, you are lying.
I think, in my own thinking, Jeremiah, the SG, Jeremiah Kioni, speaks like how Professor has said. When somebody is speaking, it's speaking through somebody. Jeremiah, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta speaks through Jeremiah Kioni. So what we are saying is that, for me, what I think the narratives that Honorable Raila Odinga is throwing out there is him saving himself. In our country today, Raila Odinga has lost his competitiveness. Maybe he has maintained at his political class, but with Kenyans, he has reduced his competitiveness. Now Kenyans don't want to support his AU agenda bid, because for the longest time, Honorable Raila Odinga stood as the astute leader who has fought for the people. But today, people were able to see through him. So if you look at his global competitiveness, he's losing influence. He's losing influence on his AU bid at the end of the day. And we know how important and close to heart that the AU position is for Honorable Raila Odinga. So what he's trying is just trying to protect his image. And he is aware that the competitiveness is already gone at the end of the day. So for me, it's him saving face.
Prof, on the two narratives by Odinga contradicting. One, it's that Ruto approached him. The other one, he was sent by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Even if Odinga was sent by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he has been in the public as one who listens to the ground. In fact, the other time while he was in Kware, he said, I'll not engage in any dialogue. I've heard you.
Yeah.
Could it be an opportunity then of Raila even proving to Uhuru that I'll only listen to the people and not the fact that Uhuru has sent me? And so he's more of a people's person or leader than someone who, you know, you can just be sent, go say this and you go do it.
Yeah, first of all, let me say that Raila Odinga deserves respect from everybody, but respect does not mean that his leadership style is relevant for now. The current leadership dispensation, I don't think he does understand. And I can say that Raila Odinga must have misread the mood of the country and went to bed with William Ruto and ignored the title that he has been the de facto people's president. Like you see now, I'm called the people's economist. I'll never be Ruto's economist. I'll never be Raila's economist. I'll be the people's economist. And that's a Solomonic economic, where you must be the people. Remember when Jesus came, Jesus talked about being with the least, the lost, and the last. These are the people that need Jesus. So if Raila has been people's president, he was supposed to go with the least, the lost, and the last. But now he has gone to bed with the people. And I wrote a personal letter to Raila Odinga, and I told him that you are approaching your sunset days. You cannot hold the hand of the devil and walk with them on your sunset. Like now, Joel, if you come to my deathbed, I will be talking more of reconciling with God than reconciling with man, because now I'm going to God. Let us learn from the thief on the cross. The thief on the cross used the last hour, if it was the last minute, to tell Jesus, remember me when you get into paradise. And let Raila use this moment to steal heaven for himself, not to steal hell for himself, because he needs to come back to the people and tell the people, I am sorry, instead of saying, oh, you know, I was told by Uhuru Kenyatta. And let me put this clearly, in governance, the advised has a responsibility. If I'm advised to do something, I cannot say, I'm doing this because advice. You don't move from raw advice to action. He has a mind to process the information, then say, I have made up my mind, this is the way to go. Like now, Kalonzo saying that, I'm going to engage Raila, isn't it? Is it advice or it is a decision he has made? I would think that should be his deliberate decision, having made, having reflected and seen, this is what to do. So
even before coming to the Kalonzo matter, allow me to just cut you short. Wanjiku, Raila Odinga perhaps could be regretting of his move to be in bed with the Kenya Kwanza government. That is already by his 4 top former ODM officials joining the cabinet. But already there's a conversation of 20 principal secretary slots being allocated to him. If at all then he even fails to have a proper narrative or a consistent narrative, is it time Odinga should also reject now taking the 20 PS positions, if at all he has good faith in Kenyans?
No, he's not regretting. He's not regretting. He's really happy where he is.
True.
And he took the position, the PSs. And I hear that the CS for gender, he's also influencing who will be put in that position. So Honorable Raila Odinga is enjoying, this is his doing, this is what he wanted. He took an opportunity that young people fought for, shamelessly. He knew that young people deserved that table, but he took that opportunity. So Raila Odinga is really happy. And he's going to appoint his PSs. We are going to see it in the next few days. Next week, that will be the trending topic. So therefore, the Honorable Raila Odinga is really happy with where he is. He's controlling issues, but he has to know the Kenyans are not foolish. We are seeing through him, and we are seeing what he's doing. By the end of the day, he refused to stick with the people. He lost his place. So he needs, let him sit in that table and dine, because 2027 he will not matter for Kenyans. And like Professor has said, there will be another factor, a fact, that it will be about issue-based politicians. And emerging politicians will come, because 2027 will be a defining moment for Kenya. It's a new Kenya emerging. It's a dawn. And the people, we've seen what the political class elite did to us. And we are not going to forgive them for it. And we are going to see new young emerging leaders coming up. And let me tell you, Chacha, this is the spirit of Mau Mau re-emerging. It's not Mau Mau back, but it's Mau Mau's spirit coming back.
If at all Odinga will take the 20 PS slots for the principal secretaries, is it a high time that there is a condition that should be given where he should not appoint any elected member? That will force a by-election already.
Yeah.
There are 7 pending by-elections
Already.
In the counties following the deaths of the area members of county assemblies. Also, there was an MP, that is Hassan Kulom, he saw rest in peace, who died in March 2023. And there was an nullification of Magarini by the Supreme Court, that is Harrison Kombe. And recently, Opiyo Wandayi, who was picked as energy CS. Is it high time that, even as we talk about austerity, we don't have to have by-elections, especially where you are appointed to join the cabinet, or now the PS slots that are there, the conversation that is there?
Chacha, also an opportunity to give jobs to unemployed Kenyans. I don't know why they can't see that. We will see that they will just recycle the same usual faces. But again, the way you are saying, giving jobs to people who are already in offices, that is increasing costs, because elections, that is a cost for Kenyans that we can't afford at the moment. It is. So I thought, you know what, Chacha, I thought even there will be a fresh call for applications for new PSs. They would have done that, but they are resulting to the usual negotiations, usual shebang that we know, and it's so sad. But it is fine, because we keep watching what they are doing, because 2027 won't be business as usual.
Prof.
Yes.
Could it be, now that Kalonzo is softening his high or hard stances, perhaps there's a negotiation behind the curtains of him even getting some PS slots? And is the reason, he's now ready to engage with Odinga, whom he termed as a traitor?
Yeah, so one thing I want to say here, I've heard people blame Raila Odinga to have betrayed Kalonzo, but also let's go back and realize that Raila Odinga and Kalonzo are the same thing. In 2007, Raila Odinga Kalonzo crossed over, and that's when he got the title Watermelon, and worked with Kibaki, and left Raila when Raila could have been president if he didn't cross over. So now Raila crossed over, and he discovered Raila has just done what he has done. Then they say now, if you can't beat them, just join them. But my main point is this, Joel, and I want to tell this to all Kenyans, sisters and brothers. Let us start removing this language by saying that the government of William Ruto, the government of Raila Odinga, so we're talking about Raila Odinga, William Ruto, Kalonzo Musyoka, Gachagua government. The government belongs to the people of Kenya. And these PS and CS positions are Kenyan jobs. Who is paying them? Who is maintaining them in office? Is the taxpayer. So I've heard people talk about the government of William Ruto. No. Look before, during, that's why I go back to our founding fathers like Kenyatta's. They talked about GOK, Government of Kenya, not the government of William Ruto. The Constitution has no name of these people. But the Constitution talks about the government of Kenya shall comprise of executive, CSS and PSS. Does not talk about this belongs to Raila, this belongs to William Ruto. That told you that this horse will die because about horse trading of tribal kingpins and tribal leaders. And I want to say very clearly that if I was to be appointed, for example, if someone was to give me a position to serve in government, when I go for interview, I'll tell them I'm taking this position in condition that this is not a position being given to me by the president. This is a job for Kenyans created by the Constitution of Kenya, not by the president. Yeah. The CS positions, the PS positions have been created by the Constitution, kept and paid for by the taxpayers' money. Sovereign power belongs to the people. So those offices, even the president has been employed by the Kenyans to take that office. He cannot now say, this is my government, and I'm bringing whom I want. Well, no, we should be sticking to the Constitution, and that's why I'm looking at Njiku said, operating in violation of the Constitution. Let us follow the Constitution. That is the manual of running the country.
Wanjiku, even as you give your final remarks, the Gen Zs, after the botched Nane demos, are planning yet another demo that is on 27th of August.
Yes.
Is the Gen Z not a passing cloud? The revolution?
Yesterday we were at UN, the Africa Youth Forum, hosted by Oslo Center. And what we saw, we had really key leaders, including the Secretary General of the Muslim World Order from Dubai came. And what you could see the panelists speaking, even Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka was speaking about the Gen Z, and what it did was to break international generational barriers. The Gen Z is not a passing cloud. Again, I've said, even if the demos people won't largely turn out, the message has already been passed. Young people, the anger, public anger exists. Youth anger exists. And especially us as young people, we no longer see ourselves as victims of crisis. We are the survivors of this crisis. And we have taken part by design, because it's young people and the Gen Z who, at the end of the day, brought forth how the anger looks like for Kenyans. Kenyan today is at the global map. I think you saw the other day CNN has a whole intro about the Kenyan politics and divide that has gone on. Meaning that we are losing, our leaders are even losing global competitiveness. So this is not a passing cloud. What we need to do is that we've seen that protests are not sustainable. And I've said before, when I was talking about Gen Z, which in Namafanya is study newer, by the way, that we can't just have protests. We have to have a multi-pronged strategy, because protests are not sustainable.
Thank you.
What I'm saying is this, that we have to adapt new ways of mass action at the end of the day.
Thank you. Prof, in 30 seconds or less, this one is now being termed as Gen All for one and one for all, dissolve parliament. Let's take all of them home now.
Yeah,
That's on 27th of August.
I've told you before, parliament has been a washing machine for cleaning people who are dirty, but they remain dirty people. There's a time I said in parliament that it has come a time when it is easier to steal money using a Bible, using a pen and a suit. So they go to parliament and those people carry Bible, isn't it? Then after that lies begin, then a pen confirms with the issue reports. Then they get appointment, then they do the same thing that has been the filthy thing. So according to me, the Parliament of Kenya has become a scene of crime. And if there's a solution to take them home, I've signed any petition to take them home. Because the Parliament of Kenya cannot be compared to the Parliament of a long time ago, which were people made of people who are Democrats, people who are citizens, who are loyalists. But you have just come people who are thieves, who see them as an opportunity. So according to me, Parliament has not learned anything, even if we entered inside there. So it is high time they go home. And Gen Zs, we are together with you, comrades. Viva. Let's do it.
Thank you so much, Prof. Fred Ogola, economic and governance expert, and as well Wanjiku Thiga, gender justice advocate. Honorable Shege Maura, SG County Assemblies Forum, who was said to join us, has issued his apologies. He will be here next time. It has been a conversation on the week in review. My name is Joel Chacha. This is New Dawn. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Good day.